Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, and we are on with the one and only Rylas Dana. How you doing, sir?
Hi, doing great. Good morning.
Good morning. So if you don't know, Rylas is my attorney in my expert series. He is my attorney. He specializes in estate planning and the like. And what we're going to talk about here is probate. Specifically, it's an area where a lot of, I don't know, I'll say wholesalers, a lot of people want to kind of do some direct marketing, but there's a lot involved with probate, Rylas, and I thought we should talk about it. It's maybe not as easy as some people make it out to be. What do you think?
Yeah, so the process in Arizona and California, they're very different. So I
Okay.
practice in both of those states, and the probate processes is one area where it's very different. It's much easier in Arizona.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the laws are pretty similar in most other things, other than just, like California's not business friendly, like there's extra.
Settle things like not being business friendly. That's all. No big deal.
Yeah, so I guess it is everything's quite a bit harder in California, but yeah, so certain things that I'm able to do in Arizona doesn't really work in California, I'm finding,
Okay.
where a lot of times in Arizona, I'll have wholesalers that will bring me a deal that they're working on where they need to do a probate,
Mhm.
and they're able to do at least some sort of contract with the seller or some sort of agreement. Now it's, we could spend episodes on how do they contract, because technically, or the whole challenge is no one has the authority until you go through probate.
Hmm.
So but how do you get someone to go through that process? So
Got it.
there's an example someone recently brought to me in California,
Mhm.
in a small county, and the house is only worth about 260,000.
Okay.
And this wholesaler, so he discovered this property where there's two brothers inherited it.
Okay.
One is living there, not paying anything, and the other one that the wholesaler talked to wants to do something, but but how does he do it?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, this is really interesting to me having this discussion, right? Because again, you're the attorney. There's rules and laws to around how probates are handled and all of that. Wholesalers sometimes, I don't know. I'll say it, fly by the seat of their pants, right? They're trying to find a motivated seller, which in your example would be the one brother. I'm going to guess one brother's more motivated than the other in this example. I'm just guessing, right? One brother's living for free, and the other brother's like, "Give me my money." Right? That's what I'm guessing happening. And oh, by the way, as you just highlighted earlier on, neither brother currently has the legal authority to make a claim on what happens with that asset. Am I reading that situation correctly?
yes. And should we make it a little bit harder?
Oh, of course. Why not?
So, or just reality is the brother that's not living there, he can't afford any legal fees. He can't afford to pay anything right now,
Of course.
which,
Wow.
it's a perfect deal for the wholesaler, right? They're seeing motivation,
Right.
but
So I'm going to play this out, right? Because again, I see wholesalers doing this a lot, right? Wholesalers, there's actually tools or apps out there that, hey, I'm going to generate a lead for you, and based on this form or that form, I don't understand any of it. I don't do any direct mail, but I'm going to mail in this example to one of the brothers, or maybe both. What do I know? Right? They're going to mail to one of the brothers. One of them throws it away. The person living there. The other one goes, "Ooh, I need to get my money." The wholesaler works with that brother. Let's just say they contract a price of 180. I'm just making this up. Uh, let's sell the house for 180. It's worth 260. Plenty of meat on the bone. Then he goes, "Great. We have to go through probate." The brother gets the notice that, hey, you talk to an attorney. It's going to cost 8 or 10 grand. That brother goes, "I don't got the money." Right? It's kind of where we're at.
yeah, and at least they get it through probate. Not the whole 8 to 10,000 is needed.
Okay.
It costs a couple $1,000s.
All right.
Is what attorneys are going to want to see, and here's what that's for. So in California, so one of the ways California is a lot different and a lot harder you have to get what's called a probate referee,
Oh, okay.
which is a glorified appraiser that's appointed by the court in that county.
Okay. Yeah.
And it varies from county to county. So even though I'm a California attorney, so when people call me with probates, I usually squad up with the local attorney in that county, or someone that's dealt with that county.
Sure.
Because a lot of times they have these, the rules aren't really published.
Right.
So for example, sometimes they appoint you the probate referee, and sometimes you got to find it yourself.
Okay. How fun. Lovely California. Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes, like, I've called these probate referees and they're like, I don't know, I'm appointed by the court. You know, they get these salty old guys that are like,
why are you bothering me?
Yeah, you should just know that's how we do it in this county. It's like, okay, gosh, yeah.
Sorry.
I should. There's a lot of counties in California. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's only 37 of them or whatever it is. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. All right. So then there's a couple of grand up front. Again, this one brother doesn't have the cash to get it done. So you're kind of stuck, right? Because
so this wholesaler was like, okay, hey, I'll pay the legal fees and run it through.
Okay.
So we'll get it through probate. And he's saying, well, how do I contract for it? And that's like, well, you don't really.
Yeah. Good luck. No legal authority. Okay. All right.
So, and then in California, so he was like, I want a contract for let's say like 250 or whatever. I think I want to get like a 150.
Right.
And then Zillow was showing it at like 225. And I'm telling him that we're gonna have to get a probate referee. And then the court's going to be like, why didn't you sell for this price?
Yeah.
If it's anything other than that price,
you're
going to have to explain, why you sold for less than that.
Yeah, I've been through one of these before. I didn't realize that appraiser was called a probate referee. The other thing that I thought was unique is this referee. I'll call him an appraiser. That's what I called him. He had to do his best effort to appraise at the date of death, right? So it's not the day you sign the contract. At least in my example, and maybe I was told wrong, but my guy died like 5 years ago. So the appraiser had to go back and try to appraise that asset at the date of death. Is that true, or was I lied to?
Correct.
Oh, wow. That's got to be hard.
Yeah. And then, so recently I was speaking to one of my attorney friends in California in Orange County, just kind of asking him asking him about this deal, seeing if he would want to do the probate, and asking if there's a way for a wholesaler, or what's the best way to go about it, if he wants to buy this property, and I explained to the wholesaler, I'm like, hey, there's no guarantees of your price, right? It's got to go through the court. So you could have the risk where you pay legal fees and
I had that exact example happen to me. We contracted a price. These will be close. I think we contracted it at 140. It was wrecked, but Zillow still had it at like 205. But in my example, because it was 5 years ago, the appraisal came back at like 90, right? Because 5 years ago prices were lower. So it ended up, we contracted it at 140 and got it done. But yeah, it could have come in over, and then I was stuck. I was out the legal fees because I front loaded like $4,000, I think, or 3,500. It was a roll of a dice. It could have been a loss.
Yeah. So the initial fees, you have that probate referee, which could be about $1,000, that appraiser.
Okay. Yep.
And then just the filing fees are about $1,000.
Yeah.
So your filing fees, and then you have to publish.
Yeah.
So, and that's not even the attorney getting paid yet. The attorney doesn't get paid until the very end.
Yes. Yeah. It was. And the other thing, at least in my experience, is I don't mean to disparage anybody, but maybe it's California. It just took forever. It was like it's like 4 months or something. It was a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh, at least that'd be fast. So
that was fast. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's way too fast. So
oh my God.
I describe probate as a lot of hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
So, the first, you'll have to have a hearing
to
get a personal representative appointed. So your hearing, maybe it's a month away, maybe it's 2 or 3 away.
Yeah.
And then after they're appointed, you have to publish and start a creditor period that takes 4 months.
Oh, geez.
So no
Wow.
matter what, you have to wait through that creditor period.
Yeah.
And then there's hearings at the end to close everything, which again,
Wow.
you have to request the hearing. And sometimes if the judge
Wow.
wants to know some more information, then they set another hearing in another 60 days after that.
So probate, what I'm hearing is probate. You can find motivation there. I.e. the one brother wants to get paid. So clearly motivation could be found. But you've got to be ready for long timelines and uncertain end results. Is that fair?
Yeah, or maybe different ways to secure your interest.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So what I was kind of throwing around with this one property is maybe that guy should buy a brother's interest in the estate.
Which guy? The wholesaler buy?
Yeah, the wholesaler. So
the brother, he should buy the brother's interest that doesn't live there in this example.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll buy your interest in the estate.
Oh. Okay. That's interesting. Play that out for me. So brother, so would it be interest in the estate or interest in that asset?
I guess in the estate, because he doesn't own that asset yet, right?
Oh, but wouldn't that open it up to other things, or am I overthinking it?
If you want if there was anything else in the estate, he could be entitled to that as well. But in this case, that was
it.
In the estate. So I guess you could limit it to just his house.
Yeah, that's what I would probably list the address or
the interest in that property,
the APN or whatever. Okay, that makes sense to me. So so in that case, that actually is interesting because I'm just playing that in my head, right? Let's just assume the asset's worth 200. Let's assume, their 50% interest is worth 100 grand, but it's way out in the future. You could, in theory, buy that at a discount, right? Because I'll give you money now, guaranteed, versus money later, maybe.
Yeah, and it's not full control, right? So you're definitely going to buy at a discount.
Yeah,
so
probably a significant discount.
100,000.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
okay, so let's play that out. Let's assume you bought it for 50 cents on the dollar. You're now in that second brother's position. Let's assume it goes through all the process. The probate finishes, because at the end of probate, what's going to happen is it basically that one brother that lives there gets half of it, and now you'll get half of it. How do you get that one brother out?
So now you're a beneficiary of the estate.
Correct.
So,
right.
So the question is, I don't know how the court's going to view that, right? I don't know how they're going to view that contract where someone's a beneficiary of the estate by contract.
Okay.
I don't think they can give you any issues with it, right? That's something someone can contract for.
Yeah. I would assume so. You're the attorney. Sounds good to me. I don't know.
And I'm kind of talking out loud, thinking out loud. They just go through the eviction process.
Okay. So it would be an eviction. Okay.
So you get a personal representative appointed. And that other brother would probably fight you if he's living there. He may or may not, right? He may.
Yeah. But basically, it would be an eviction, even though that brother owns 50% of the house, he doesn't have legal rights to stay there.
Correct.
Okay, that's okay.
So, or he's got to pay the other brother, right? He's got to pay rent and.
Yeah, you got to do something, right? Okay, that's interesting. So again, you go through 6 months or whatever. You bought the interest for 50 cents on the dollar. You wait 6 months. You get there, you own half, they own half, then you have another 4 months to evict, assuming, again, I'm just trying to play it out the longest way possible. Then you get the asset, but you evict somebody who was a half owner. So do you have to buy, I don't know, that just.
Yeah, so you got to figure out how to sell it. So the first step is going to be getting someone appointed as the personal representative of the estate.
Got it.
And then they're going to sell the house. They're going to decide what to do with it.
Okay, got it.
So I've sold houses. Yeah. I've sold houses as is with the tenant in there.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, you can do that.
So which is also, it warranted a discount.
Yeah.
Either we pay the fees and get this person out, or we'll just turn it over to a new buyer and let them sort it out.
Okay. So let's say that was an option, right? You bought it at 50 cents on the dollar, then you want to sell it at 75 cents on the dollar. I'm just making numbers up. You only own half the building. Wouldn't you have to have the other brother sell his half too?
Right. So, and there's a fiduciary duty to the estate. You have
Mm-hmm.
to do what's best for the estate.
Oh,
What's
okay.
best for all the beneficiaries. You have to
Yeah.
do what's best for all the beneficiaries.
And
So
that
the one brother,
yeah, cashing out makes sense. It makes sense. Okay.
yeah. So unless the other brother can, even if they can pay rent, it's usually I don't like that
It's
situation.
not the best interest of the estate. I think I like that twist. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow. All I know is probate is a lot more work and is a much more complicated process with ins and outs than maybe some wholesalers think. That's kind of my takeaway from this.
Yeah, so I tried to connect to this attorney, my friend in Orange County, and then he emailed back later, after discussing it. He's like, yeah, I don't have the bandwidth to
Yeah.
take it.
He's like, no, thanks. I don't want the
And the
work.
whole time I was like, what does that mean? I was like, he just doesn't want to do it. He's
Yes,
like, what does it mean? I was like, he politely just doesn't want to do it.
yeah. Too much work, not enough money. No, thank you. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Oh my. So I mean, what's the wholesaler or you to do in this example? Basically, you need somebody to pick up the work. You need to find somebody else.
Yeah. Find someone that's will go through those steps. And then that's kind of the challenge.
Wow. I mean, the other answer is you walk away from the deal.
Yeah, you walk away, or what I always tell wholesalers is you try to work together with the attorney, right? Like, hey, like I want to do, I need a probate. I have a buyer. The buyer wants to buy,
Hmm.
but obviously if their price is too low, there's a fiduciary duty to the estate.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we can't take it at a discount, um, just because,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have it appraised and
Yeah.
approved by the court.
Yeah. So again, my takeaway from this conversation is probate is a a rich environment to find motivation. Motivated sellers are a key to wholesaling. Unfortunately, there are many checks and balances and protections of the estate that I think many wholesalers don't appreciate or understand. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Right. So I guess what we're saying here, and you actually have said this many times on my channel, the best way to get an attorney to be a part of your network is to bring them work. So wholesalers, if you're operating in a community and working on probate leads, you better bust your ass and get a couple of probate attorneys in your network immediately.
Yeah, you guys are good for each other. So you
Yes.
can complement each other well. So wholesalers, they not just bring me legal business, but they also help my clients with real estate issues as well. That makes me look good. So
And again, you're licensed in Arizona and California. So let's make your phone or email ring. How do you want people to reach out to you if a wholesaler found a deal and they want to work through something?
yeah, so my phone number is 480-924-4424. And our website is danalegalhelp.com. You can find us there.
Folks, and again, if you reach out with a deal, do me a favor, just tell him you came from one rental at a time. I want him to realize that his 30 minutes with us every week are valuable. So let's make his phone ring. Again, Dana, what's that phone number?
It's 480-924-4424. So everything we were talking about today can be avoided with some planning, and especially in California. So we're talking about inheritances that are just kind of like sitting there wasted because there's the cost to collect them are too prohibitive for the beneficiaries.
Yeah. So folks, do yourself a favor, give Rylas Dana a call because he can help you out, have these discussions. Thanks, Rylas, for your time.
All right, thank you.
You got it.